Hey.
How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm doing great.
You're looking great.
Oh. Oh my god. Thanks.
So welcome back.
Welcome back.
For you guys, it doesn't feel like much time has passed, but for us, much
Well,
time has passed.
we didn't post for very long.
That's what I'm saying. For us, it's been a long time since we've even filmed.
Mm-hmm.
We only didn't post that 1 week. Or was it 2 weeks?
2 weeks. It was 2 weeks.
Okay.
Hey, we're back from our hiatus.
Hey guys, so this is a video that I never thought I would have to make, confronting the other party. No, but
oh my god.
This will not be a YouTube apology video. Everything's fine.
Literally. So we've had crazy weeks. Crazy couple weeks. I've had a crazy week in general. So have you.
Yeah.
So have you.
For way different reasons.
Yeah. So last week we talked about Adam getting his wisdom teeth out. Obviously that did occur. That did happen.
It did.
So how was that experience for you?
So today when we're filming this is Tuesday. So this will go up
Wednesday.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I got my wisdom teeth out last Wednesday. That's why we didn't film anything last week, because I couldn't.
Yeah.
I got my wisdom teeth out last Wednesday, and it has genuinely been, like, one of the worst experiences I've ever had in my life. Like, the pain, and just because, like, I'm a very, like, get going, like, get up, get out person, and, like, having your wisdom teeth taken out just drains your energy, and there's so much that it restricts you from doing. Like, I haven't been able to go to the gym. I'm not able to eat certain things. Like, I lay in bed all day. Like, I mean, it's nice because I've got to, like, catch up on shows and things I like. But it's, like, I don't like just sitting around doing nothing.
Yeah, you get in this a really big low, I feel like, when you're not productive. Even though there's days where you don't like being productive, which I'm the same way. But, like, I 100%.
But knowing I can't be productive sucks.
Yeah, where you're literally forced to be bedridden for a few days. Yeah, that sucks.
So, but I've recovered.
Yeah.
But you, on the other hand, little Miss Thing, since the viewers have last tuned in to the Madi sitcom.
Oh my god.
Miss Madi has a man.
I do have a man. Oh my god. I do. I have a boyfriend. Which is a knock on wood. I hope it lasts. Just kidding.
And actually, Maddie's boyfriend is here with us in the studio today. No, just kidding. Nobody's here. It's just us.
It's not. He's not here. Yeah. Wow. That's been a time. It's crazy. To say that I have a boyfriend, but I do.
I love that I'm gay and you have a serious boyfriend before I even have. It kind of just shows, like, you know, it's 2021. Like, we can defy all odds.
Oh, shush.
In a good way.
This man came out of nowhere. This man was
he literally
in disguise.
Came from thin air.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
so
Maddie was literally walking down the street, and he just kind of went.
No, that's not what happened. I mean, it could have easily been that, but no. So, you know, I'm up at college right now. I have a couple classes in person. When we met, and one of our in-person classes is a year older than me. But our birthdays are 4 days apart. So he's not actually quite a year older than me. He's like a year minus 4 days.
Yeah.
What would that be? 361?
Yeah, good job. We're proud of you, girl.
Yay, I can do math.
Quick maths.
Quick maths. So yeah, we have been officially together as a label for a week now, but we've been seeing each other for like almost a month.
Yeah.
But it's been amazing. Again, like, he dropped out of nowhere. I was in a very low spot, I think, in my life just since moving up here. A lot was going on just mentally, and then literally that same week, like, I had therapy on a Tuesday and was like breaking down to her about all the things I was upset about in my life, and then I literally got his Snapchat. He asked me for my Snapchat that day, and we went out on our first date that next day. And then since then it's been history. But
we literally have not spent one day apart since then.
We have not. I have seen him every single day, which is probably really annoying to some people, but I don't know. I've had a lot of people tell me how visibly happy they've seen me, and I have had a lot of people tell me how they've never seen me this happy, and I feel it. I'm very happy. He's the most amazing person. Like, he's awesome. And I'm very lucky, and I'm very happy. So it's been crazy. It's been a crazy few weeks.
It has. So much has went on.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm almost done with school, which is crazy to think about.
That is crazy. You have less than a month.
Mm-hmm. My birthday's in 2 weeks. I'm very excited. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to decide whether or not I'm excited for my birthday or not. Because usually I get excited for my birthday and then it ends up being shit.
Literally.
So we'll see. But I'm excited.
Also, in the last couple of weeks, which is kind of like the whole topic of this podcast, is we celebrated. We lived through the 1-year anniversary of COVID. Officially making its way into America and society.
But it's funny because it's like, I think it's funny, like, the year anniversary is kind of when the vaccine became available to everyone, which is really
and it's also
trippy.
It's just funny too because it's like a year ago, like I sent you that Snapchat the other day of me, like I was like day 1 of quarantining,
literally.
But it's funny because like then we weren't like, oh, like we're gonna be living in this a year from now. We weren't thinking that then. So like to be here and like where we are and like to see how things are kind of happening.
How
and like
fast did that go for you though? How fast did that? Because that went by fucking fast. Like,
I literally told someone that the other day. I was like, so fast.
Just think about where we were, just you and me,
in
our relationship and our friendship, and like where we were in life a year ago today.
Yeah,
it's insane how much we've been through.
Sitting in first watch, like bawling our eyes out to each other. That was like a year ago, a little more than a year.
That was
about
in
a year.
February. That was in February.
Basically a year ago.
Right before school stopped.
Right, but like that.
Adam and I ending our friendship.
That feels like forever ago.
I know, but it was a little over a year. That's insane.
And you know, I think what I feel like why it went by so fast and why I'm not making a big deal of it like some other people are is like we have found ways to still do things while we've been in these times.
We've definitely adapted.
Oh, for sure. Like we definitely have had restrictions on a lot of things. Like things have closed down. Some people don't want to go out, and that's fine. Some people are worried
But it was
about
like
safety.
at this time last year where like restaurants were open, like everything was closed. Like
we didn't even have a mask mandate here yet. We weren't even wearing masks.
I don't think we had a mask mandate until at least June.
Yeah.
Because I remember we were at work. No, that's not true. Because we quit did we quit in June or did we quit in May?
June.
Okay.
My
but
last
like
day
we
was
had
June
just 1st. Okay. So we had just started wearing masks like a couple weeks before that. But we still weren't open.
Not even, because I remember walking into Spag one day and they're like, we have to wear masks. And that was like a week before I left. It wasn't very long.
Right.
So.
It wasn't. Yeah. So it was crazy. Like, our state was very slow on that.
And I think, I think what's so crazy about it too is like to see where all of the different states have like come from. Like, I remember like, because you remember last summer, like I traveled to New York when they were like at their peak of like being like the worst.
Yeah. And then you were there for 2 weeks.
We had to be there for 2 weeks.
That's insane.
Into quarantine.
But again, like, yeah, that was when New York was really bad and they were like.
But like now looking forward, like, when people spoke about the vaccine, I never was one who considered even getting the vaccine, and I have my second vaccine on Friday.
Yeah, that's
so it's
crazy.
like to just think about like again where we were a year ago and what's happened now. I mean, we
didn't even think we were gonna need a vaccine a year ago.
Yeah,
so.
literally. We
thought, oh my god, we get 2 weeks off of school, yay!
I think the craziest thing that you and I have done together since this whole thing is when we went to Disney. You and I, when we went to downtown Disney in California.
Adam and I don't think we've talked about this, but Adam and I are Disney freaks.
Obsessed.
We're obsessed with Disney. We cry over it.
Maddie and I want to live together after college, and our whole house is going to be Disney themed.
Oh, absolutely. Kitchen towels, oven mitts, dishes.
The waffle maker.
Yes.
Disney slippers, Disney pillowcases. Everything.
Yeah, we love Disney.
But yeah, so when did we go? October?
October.
Back in October, it
beginning.
literally was, I think, the most spontaneous thing Maddie and I have ever done. Like, the beginning to mid-September, Maddie was like, do you want to go to Downtown Disney? And I was like, yeah. And we just went.
Because I don't, because it was closed for a while, and I think that's when, like, they got news that it was opening up, and I was like, Adam, we need to just go. Like...
But I'm saying, like, it was, like, an instant decision. We were like, yeah. And then we literally booked the hotel. Like, that day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we literally did. But yeah, we love Disney, and I think that's been the hardest thing for us, because Adam literally was in Disney the day before it closed, which is insane. And it's so sad to me. And you know, some people are like, oh, whatever, like Disney's like whatever, but like we love it so much. Like it has such a special place in our hearts. So
and Maddie and I both went to Disney World in December at different times, but we both were there, and it was an amazing experience to go and to be in that atmosphere. But like the difference between Disney World and Disneyland is such, like, Disneyland is the OG authentic. Yeah. Like, I love Disney World, and I know you had a great time when you went in December. That was your first time.
I did. It was, but it's like very fun.
The difference is just so crazy, and I never like to admit that to myself. But like when I was in Disney World, I was like, "This is nothing like being in Disney in California."
Well, I think it's also hard because Disneyland's closed, and I grew up. I lived in San Diego for a while. Well, not for a while, but
literally no.
Well, no. When I was when I was a baby to 3 years old, I went to Disney so much during those 3 years. Like. I grew up on Disney. I have probably gone every year since I was a baby. I grew up on Disney movies. I was very lucky to have parents that raised me on that and took me to the park and but I've grown up as well as now as an adult to be a Disney adult.
And that's the thing too. It's like it might sound like whatever. They could go to Disney every year. Like well, for me, I never went to concerts as a kid. I never went to the fair. We put all of our money together. I went to Disney at least twice a year, every year since I was 2.
I know. Yeah.
And we didn't do anything else so that we could do that. But again, now that it's closed and it's crazy, when we were there in Downtown Disney in October, our first night there, Maddie and I went to this rooftop restaurant right across the street from the park. And we were like, oh, we're are the lights going to turn on? Blah, blah, blah. And we were sitting there. And it was never dark. The park was pitch black.
It was so depressing.
Our waitress comes over and we're like, do the lights turn on? And she's like, no, they haven't turned them on. And we literally just sat across the street from Disney and looked into the darkness.
It was so sad.
It was so sad.
Imagine too, a year ago today, not a year ago, but it was in April and Disney had been closed for a month. Yeah. I had no idea what I was about to experience for the past year. Seeing all the fucking employees get furloughed and all of that shit. I had no idea that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I was literally I have a Snapchat story saved of me just sobbing over the fact that Disneyland was closed
for 1 month. And now it's been closed for a year.
And yeah, I know. It's insane. And I was so I was supposed to go for my senior trip, so it was really hard for me to not be able to go. I know that sounds so fucking privileged. We probably sound so bad, but it's also it's literally our favorite thing ever. But so it was really disappointing. I was literally sobbing over it. And now, the 30th, hopefully, it's opening up again. All I care about is the employees, because those people deserve the world.
Well, and it's when we were there, remember when we were waiting in line to go into that store and that lady was talking to us. There was this lady talking to us.
I always reference that story.
There was this lady talking to us and she said, I used to work on Main Street in Disneyland and they let so many people go. And she was like, I was working at Walmart. She's like, I had to leave and work at Walmart and they just recently asked me.
She was gonna, she applied to Walmart. She was like, I probably will just go work at Walmart.
She told us she worked there.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Well, she was still working in Downtown Disney. She was like, I'm lucky enough to even be here right now.
Yeah, they brought her back and asked her if she wanted to work at Downtown Disney, and she was just there, and she said, my love for the park, didn't change. She's like, it was hard, but, that's just crazy to think that, one day you're on top of the world, just, on Main Street selling candied apples, and then, isn't it that? And it's so sad. And it's so funny, too, because I find myself in the last year, I hear or see little things, and I'm like, what Disney reference is that? We were singing music the other day, and I heard this part of the song, and I was like, that sounds like a Disney song. And, like, literally, it's just, like, my mind has been consumed. And for Maddie's... For Christmas? Maddie moved, and I gave her a going-away gift. I gave her a Mickey waffle maker. And I was so tempted to keep it. I was like, maybe I should just not tell her I got it. And I should just keep it for myself.
Bitch. Oh, my God.
But we made those Mickey waffles, and they were good. So.
They were really good. But, yeah. So Disney being closed has been really hard, and we did get the amazing opportunity. Me and Adam went on our own separate trips, but with our families. But yeah, I got to see Disney World, and like, you know, I feel like a lot of people are hating on the parks being open, especially during a pandemic. Like, I get it. But when you were there, could you say that you felt like safe? Because I felt extremely safe.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, the masks are strictly enforced. The lines are very spread out. Like, there was shit ton of people. There was even more people when you went.
Yes. Oh,
like that
God.
was like a normal Disney experience for
I
you.
was waiting, not even, this was the worst I think I've ever, I was in Universal Studios going on a ride in Harry Potter World, and me and my younger sister waited 2.5 hours. With things still spread out. Like,
wait times were insane.
it was crazy.
But I think it was because of the line, like the space. And
I also just think it was because,
part.
like, back in December, that's when people... Because I get it, you know, people are concerned about safety. People are like, wear your mask, stop the spread. And I understand that, and I agree. But I also think December was the time when people were like, we're done. Like, we're just ready to go back out and start living our lives as normal as we can.
I know.
And I think at this point with the vaccine, and, you know, a lot of people say, like, the vaccine's not going to fix everything. But I think people are just like, we got to get to back to
Cases are already going down, though.
Yeah.
Cases are already going down.
But now there's already people talking about the surge that's going to happen over the summer. They're like, people are like, oh, the summer surge.
Because people, yeah, I mean, people always have to find negative in things. I'm trying to be as optimistic as possible. I feel like life is looking up. I don't think that we're going to be able to not wear masks for a long time. I don't think we're going to be able to, not, like, go to concerts and shit, like, normally. I don't think life is going to go back to normal for a long time. Not, like, a long time, but maybe another year.
Not even normal like it was before ever. I mean, places now are going to implement new rules, like, with cleaning and keeping things sanitized.
But here's the thing. Why weren't we
doing that before?
Why weren't airplanes being cleaned? Why weren't restaurants being cleaned? Why weren't all of this? Why wasn't this shit being cleaned? Like, that's scary. That's scarier than the fucking pandemic.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck wasn't that shit happening before?
Yeah.
Like, why weren't we being more careful? Why weren't we?
And it's funny because people are like, wash your hands. Well, duh. Have people not been washing their hands? Yeah.
You know, when coronavirus first started and all those signs were up, like, oh yeah, like, you know, take care of yourself, eat healthy,
wash your hands
like,
for
wash
30
your
seconds.
hands. Like, that should have been something you were already fucking doing, sis.
Yeah.
That was concerning. And, like, seeing, like, airplanes, like, oh, we're taking cleaning more seriously.
Were you
So
not
you've been
before?
telling me. So you've been telling me I've been sitting in an airplane for 2.5 to 5 hours in filth?
They're like,
And other people's shit?
we're actually going to give you fresh peanuts in the pack. They're like, we'll give you your own fresh cup. We won't make you reuse someone else's this time.
Oh my God.
And it's funny because it definitely has brought out the worst of what people, like things we know that we never thought about before.
Oh yeah, I've definitely seen true colors of people.
Oh yeah.
The past year. That's been definitely a big... Like, I've always said this, like, COVID brought a lot of negativity to the world, but it also, like, in my personal life, and I feel like this is the same thing for a lot of people, helped a lot of things.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, COVID, not being in school anymore, broke that relationship that I needed to get out of immediately, that I needed. That helped. I don't think I would have realized that until a lot later if I was stuck in that situation, you know?
Yeah.
And then, you know, I shaved my head. I gained a lot of confidence within myself. A lot of shit happened that was really positive and very helpful to my, like, personal growth.
Yeah.
And I don't think that would have happened as fast. Like, I think it would have still happened, but I don't think I would be in the same place as I was if the pandemic didn't hit. So I think a lot of learning opportunities have been brought because of it. and I try to be optimistic about shit like that. Like, yeah, this past year has sucked ass.
And I think that's also, that optimism has also helped it go by quicker, because it's like that is what drives us to find things to still do. If we just were like,
it's like,
oh, everything's ruined, then we would sit in our houses all day. But we're like, we're going to stay optimistic. Let's see what we can make of it. And we definitely have. So it's crazy too, because the effect it's had on people, because there were those people in the beginning like, don't go to social gatherings, don't do this, don't do that. And those were the people now who are doing that, and vice versa. The people who are going out, like partying it up, living it up, got COVID, realized how bad it was, and now they don't go outside. So it's like the effect that it's had on people.
I know, I've known people that have gotten it and still do the same fucking shit that they were doing before, so.
I mean, without getting super political, our last president got COVID. Like, not in a political sense, but he got COVID, and the way he handled it.
Did he? Did he get COVID?
I think he did.
That's a conspiracy.
Everything's conspiracy when it comes to the government. But I definitely, like you said, it definitely has led to a lot of positive things. And I think what the hardest part was in the beginning, even before COVID, for maybe just us and for other people, like the negative hurdles that we had to get over first to get to those positive things.
Yeah.
And again, I think COVID just unnaturally, without anybody knowing it, helped people kind of come out of their shell, quite literally, to bring them to who they truly are. I mean, it brought a lot of tension to the political world, to social lives, to friendships, to relationships, to workplaces. Like, it kind of just wept its way into things and kind of made people like start to crumble, and some people cracked under the pressure, and some people learned how to deal with it, and that has shown in like everybody.
We were having a conversation too about like this year's high school students and how we actually like, because last year we were like shitting on them, you know, like, oh well, we, you know,
silver spoon, like
well, we were like, oh, they're gonna get a graduation, like they'll be fine. Well, yeah, I think they are, but we were just
we
talking
got to
about,
experience like, more than
we actually got to experience at least one semester of high school. Like, yeah, we missed out on graduation, we missed out on prom, but they've missed out on their entire senior year has been online, which I can't imagine that.
My sister,
like, going through all of high school thinking that you're gonna have a normal.
My sister just started going back last week in person. I know. Again,
and she's a freshman, so hopefully she'll get.
But that's what's crazy, and I do applaud anybody this year's senior class and anybody in high school or school in general right now in public school, because what they've had to go through has been crazy. Like back in their first semester, back in October. Back in October of last year, they went back to school, and then they had to stop going back to school, and they went all back online again. So they've been like flip-flopped back and forth. They're like guinea pigs. I mean, they're the true guinea pigs.
Oh, absolutely. At least for our state.
Yeah.
Because our school system can't seem to figure their shit out.
But it's funny, too, because I don't know if you've read now, like, Australia, no COVID anymore.
Yeah.
Belgium.
They're clubbing and partying and concerts now.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Again, I always thought how weird it was how fast this all happened, and then now it's really also weird how fast it's ending. Well, I know that's a very broad statement. Like, I know that it's still a problem, and I know that we still need to take it seriously. But the way that it's declining, yeah. But it's crazy how quickly, just because of the vaccine, which is great. I mean, I was very skeptical of the vaccine because of how fast it was made, and that shit freaks me out. Like, getting vaccinated. Like, I'm obviously not an anti-vaxxer. I'm all vaccinated, but like. You know, I think it would freak anyone out, like, oh, I'm going to put this shit in my body that I don't really know, like, what's in it. Like, that's a little scary, but...
Well, and starting tomorrow, I know you've probably seen it, but starting tomorrow in our state, anybody 16 or older is qualified to get the vaccine.
I did see that.
Which I think is a big step.
I could literally just schedule an appointment to go get one, which is crazy.
But, you know, I think it's, you know, the thing is, too, is people are like, well, things we could have done differently. And honestly, because I'm a person who believes everything happens for a reason, quite honestly... Looking back, if we would have done things differently, I don't know what would have really changed. I think we had, again, to go through a lot of those hard times and those hard troubles. And I'm just saying, not even just as us, I'm saying as like a state, a nation, as people. Like, I think we had to overcome those hurdles and be like, why are we opening things too fast and whatever. Like, I think we had to do those things in order to realize what we need to do now.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, even though some people are still making stupid decisions.
Throughout history, that shit has happened. I mean, it's like, it's how the world progresses. And yeah, like, everyone can claim, oh, well, we should have done this and this and this. You're right. Maybe we could have, but we didn't. But we didn't. And that's it. That's that.
And that's the reality, yeah.
That's the reality, and there's nothing we can do about it. The only thing we can do now is, like, move forward, and I think the world will be completely different, but I don't think it'll be bad. I think it'll be better. Hopefully.
I think, again, too, I don't think we're ever going to get back to what normal was before. Which is a hard reality to face. It is, but I think, you know, that, and again, it's like, I think, like, we never know, because we were saying the same shit a year ago, like, oh, I think this will be over in a month.
Yeah.
But I do think
I think we've learned not to put a time limit on it now.
I think as a society, though, people are going to get tired of it sooner than later, and I think that things are just going to have to go back to what our new normal can be. Yeah. I think it's going to come down to a point eventually of, like, okay, masks aren't required, but if you want to wear one, you can. If you don't have to. Mm-hmm. And I think you are going to see people for years to come still. Like, you're going to go out in public, and a year from now, let's say, if there's no mask mandate, and you're going to see people with masks on. There's just going to be those people, because this has been the modern day disaster that has rocked a lot of people's worlds, and it's going to continue to affect people for a while. Mm-hmm. And I was just telling this to my sister, like, if schools go back in person, there's going to be parents who aren't going to want to send their kids back to school.
Nope.
And that's going to be hard for parents to decide, and for their kids. Because I'm sure there's going to be some kids who want to go back, but they can't. So,
I'm very fortunate that I get to even go. I mean, you go in person.
Yeah.
I go in person sometimes.
Now, kind of.
Kinda. Yeah. But I'm honestly thinking by next semester, like, all my classes will be in person. Like, there's still going to be the social distancing. There's still going to be masks. And I'm sure there's still going to be a flex option where if you want to be online, you can. If you want to be in person, you can.
My school, like, literally, if you can walk into all the different buildings. Like, I don't have to go into all the buildings. But you can walk into all the buildings, and they had it set up. Like, one way up and down the hallway, 6 feet apart, only this many people in the classroom, and it was deserted like that because people left. Mm-hmm. But it was set up for that. So I know that my school right now plans to let all students back on campus in the fall if they choose. Yeah. And I just want that again. I want the interaction of being able to walk past people in the hall and, like, you know, just see people, to, like, socially know that other people are out there.
I mean, I wouldn't have met my boyfriend if I wasn't going in person, and that's quite crazy to think about. There wouldn't have been.
And it's crazy because there was a time when you weren't even thinking about going in person.
I literally was like, because I did not like my professor at all, but he was offering in person. It was like the only class, like one of like 3 classes that like I have that are in person. And I was like, God, I do not like this professor, but I really want to go like to an in-person class. So I went, and that's when I met him. And I'm glad I did, because again, I am a type of person, like, I realized, because when I first moved up here, I saw, like, a really bad decrease in my mental health because I was not leaving my house. I was obviously stuck on Zoom. My school last semester was an absolute shit show with, like, figuring out Zoom and in-person classes, and, like, it was barely anything. Now it's calmed down a little bit, and they've kind of gotten their shit figured out. So once in-person classes started, like, being offered, I was like, okay, I just need to leave my house. Yeah. I need to get the fuck out of my house. And then I met my boyfriend.
There you go. Miracles happen.
And miracles happen. Look at me now. But I'm glad. I went in person. It's been really nice.
I think moving forward, the most important thing for us as people is to stay optimistic and to stay open-minded to whatever can happen. Because, again, like, we're going to, in 40 years from now, when we're sitting down with our grandkids, gonna be like, that was a shitstorm.
Literally.
And it's gonna be crazy to look back on this. Mm-hmm. And yeah, but crazy times.
Crazy times. I know that schools aren't taking care of their teachers like they weren't, like they were doing before the pandemic, like the health procedures that they go on, and, like, you know, all this stuff that they, you know, I feel like
there was an incident at my dad's school because my dad's a teacher. Mm-hmm. And they offer a flex option, and a lot of teachers had to, like, leave. Like, if you wanted to go be part of the university, like the flex university, then you left your job at the campus and did that. There was a teacher who did not feel comfortable going back to the school, and they straight up told her, if you do not come back, we will fire you and we will find someone to replace you.
Oh, that's so shitty.
And when this is over, you cannot come back.
Oh. Yeah, that's
because
ridiculous.
She didn't feel comfortable to go in person. And that's awful because, again...
Because there's teenagers and kids that are fucking gross and they don't give a shit about anything. And 100%... Like, I have my... one of my professors, I don't think she's comfortable at all, but it's, like, her only way of actually working and getting money and getting paid and, like, having a job. And I'm like... Because she always says, they're not taking care of us at all. And I'm like, damn, that sucks. Like, being so passionate about teaching and getting, like, a doctorate. Like, you're a smart-ass professor and you want to teach people and, like, you're passionate about shit. But, like, again, there's people that aren't comfortable. And I 100% completely support that. And I completely understand because it's scary.
Huh?
Fuck COVID.
Fuck COVID.
It's funny looking back at, like, old videos, too, when we called it coronavirus. Do you remember when we were calling it, like, the corona? And, like...
Coronavirus?
And, like, now we just call it COVID. Like, we've, like, developed all these, like, nicknames for it and shit.
Lingo. Well, now we gotta start hatching up ideas for next week's episode.
I know.
We'll think of something, don't you worry.
Don't you worry, you guys.
It'll be entertaining, fresh, and fun.
Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you agree.
If you're listening to this in your car right now, I hope you didn't crash and I hope you're safe.
Yes. Drive safely, whether you're going
Drive
to
safely.
work or home or your boo thing's house. Like me.
Anyways, thanks guys for listening this week.
Tune in next week for another one.
We love you.
We love you so much.
We love you so much. Will you marry me, actually?
Yeah, let's go get married right now.
We're getting married to you guys.
I can't believe it. I'm so happy.
All right, well, peace out.
Peace out, peace and love.
Peace, love, happiness. And boobies.
Okay, bye. Bye.